Quick editorial on primary elections and how, in my opinion, they are outdated and, like some other aspects of our election and political system, it's time to their purpose has been served and it's time to move on. Now, I live in Pennsylvania, one of, I believe, only 14 states, correct me if I'm wrong, that has closed primaries on top of primary elections. So by closed primary, that means that in order for you to vote in the primary election here in Pennsylvania, I know Florida's another state, few others, you actually have to be a registered Democrat or Republican. We're in 2018. Come on, honestly. No offense against Democrats or Republicans. I much respect for believing in your party and believing in their values and what they stand for. No offense at all. But with the primary elections in general, why? I mean, we are finally in 2018 in the recent elections. Granted, there are glitches, but we are finally migrating towards everything being digital, computerized, online. But with primary elections, in a lot of cases, I don't know if this is the case where you live, it may or may not be, but here in Pennsylvania and the Lehigh Valley, and in several cases I've noticed since I've been covering this for now, this is my 4th or 5th year, I lost track, that especially in local elections, those elections can be decided in the primaries. Let's just say you live in an area that's primarily Democrat. All right, well, Republicans, why waste our time and resources on the local side when the Democrats are going to win anyway? So therefore, if you're like myself, by the way, I'm a registered independent because I live in Pennsylvania, voted in the primaries. I'm now a registered Democrat. So the day after the primaries are over, back to being an independent. But anyway, I've seen it where local elections are decided in the primaries, especially if there's only candidates for one party that are running in those elections. And I mean, how is this a fair system for voting and for the election process if not every single person is allowed to participate in every election unless they are forced to change their parties? Now, if you live in an open primary state, my respect, and I applaud you for living for that state being in the modern world. But and not only that, but just the primary elections in general. The whole point of it is to say, oh wow, well, we're going to choose the two we're going to limit this election to just two candidates who stand the best chance because of the two parties that consistently dominate the elections and our political system. Again, how is this fair? All right, you have whichever candidate on one side or both that wins those primary elections has a jump on any third party or independent candidates by a long shot. Has an actual jump on them in certain aspects. Excuse me. In certain aspects, and that they have a large unfair advantage. Now, speaking right now, I just thought about something else though. In one aspect that I just thought of, they are at a disadvantage though, because an independent or candidate or a third-party candidate can within the rules of the election system, our election system here in the United States, federal, state, and local, but they can be out saying, hey, look, I'm the only person running for my party, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and possibly even be raising some funds. Again, I haven't researched that aspect of our election system yet, but they can be getting their name out in social aspects, not official political ones, even if they don't say I'm running for whatever office. Hey, look, this is who I am, represent this business, whatever I do. So, whereas the candidates for the Democrats and Republicans, they may be running up, they may have an opponent, they may not, and if they have an opponent, I mean, right now I think there's 5 Democratic candidates for the 15th district here in Pennsylvania for Congress. So, there's positives and negatives to both. But like I said, the primary elections, honestly, it's time to get rid of them. You know, I realize that it narrows your choices, it makes things simpler for us. But because in a primary election, only candidates for two parties are allowed to run, it is completely unfair, and in my personal opinion, rigs the system so that third party candidates, independents, don't stand anywhere near the chance that they deserve against the two parties. You know, here's a suggestion. Let's just do away with them. I mean, we're in 2018 for crying out loud. This isn't 1918. This isn't 1958. This isn't 1988. This is 2018. We live in a global society now. Social media, texting, video chat, video conferencing, business, whatever, personal, whatever. So there is no reason why we should have these extra primary elections. Let's just, from the start of the election season, the petition signing, okay, not only that, but it also puts a lot of pressure on voters because of the limited time. So in your daily life, don't have kids, don't have the family life, don't have a personal life actually, but with my magazine alone, I'm so busy, I admit I'm guilty of this. I'm so busy covering everything, I don't have time to actually learn about it. And that's the way a lot of people are with their lives. They're so busy with their lives, between work, family, school, whatever, that their time to learn about stuff is so limited. And all of a sudden, guess what? You have from January until May, which, okay, it's 5 months, but still, that 5 months goes by real quick. So why don't we just eliminate the primary elections period, give everyone a full 11 months to learn about the candidates, have your deadlines. I'm not saying change a lot of the rules. Have your deadlines for petition signing, etc. And that's also, the petition signing is also another way to narrow down candidates, because if they can't get enough signatures on a petition, guess what? You're not on the ballot. If they could come up with some better rules for maybe possibly the petition signing, then maybe we could you can narrow the field down right off. It's just an idea. Editorial means opinion. These are my personal opinions as a registered voter and as a member of the media covering this stuff for, I think, like I said, 4, possibly 5 years, lost track. But, it's time that this country evolved into the modern age, into the current year that we're in, especially with our political and election system. It is outdated. Primary elections are only one example of how the election system in general is so far outdated in this country, it's not even funny. Let's start working on getting rid of the primaries. And by the way, here's one of the many ways you can tell how confident a candidate is and how they will do, what kind of job they will do when they're in office. Ask them a question. Here's another question to ask them. Yeah, are you in favor of getting rid of the primary elections? See what they say. A strong candidate and a candidate who believes Democrat, Republican, third party, independent, don't care, across the board, will look at you and give you an honest answer. And they will give you a yes or a no, or even a maybe, and that can be acceptable, but they will give you a logical explanation for it. Michael Phoenix, founder and staff of Serial Veil City Online Magazine's predecessor, Valley and Beyond, which was the first magazine that really kicked everything off. Please go to the thanks to sponsor section and support those people and businesses. Without them, nothing could happen. There's also some people behind the scenes I want to give a real special thank you to, and thanks to you for all the page views and all the support. Without you, there'd be no point. This is a drop-dead gorgeous late February day here in Lehigh Valley. I'm not stupid enough to go down in short sleeves just yet, but it is a beautiful spring day out here. If it's beautiful where you live, get out, enjoy it. Remember, take some time out to enjoy life and your family and friends. You get one shot at it. Gotta make it count.